Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. This is, of course, your broadcaster, HD StarCraft, and I'm here to bring you guys another Heart of the Swarm broadcast here in StarCraft 2. Down in the bottom right-hand corner today, we're going to be looking at the red Zerg player, and his name is ColdFront. And his opponent is going to be the blue Terran player that just defeated Cats in a game that I casted a few days ago. And his name is Lomo. So it is going to be a Terran versus Zerg. And this is Lomo, formerly from Team Mouse Sports, I believe. So this should be a pretty good game here. Terran versus Zerg. Big map here. One of the new maps available in Heart of the Swarm. And we can already see the Overlord starting to make its way across the map. You'll note, as you look at the mini-map, you might think, oh, that's a 4-player map with 4 spawns. But actually, it's a symmetrical map across the center line, the vertical center line. So it is a 2-player map. And they both will always spawn in either the 5 o'clock or the 7 o'clock position. So, having said that, you can get an early scout in here right away in the beginning portions of the game. But other than that, the map is very big, largely vast, and you can definitely get into the very late game scenarios here. So I'm excited to see how this is going to play out. Both these players are top masters to grandmasters in their respective divisions. Obviously, Lomo, a very talented player, having defeated Root No Cancer, aka Root Cats. And I actually just found out why Cats changed his name to No Cancer. Apparently he quit smoking, so he doesn't want to get cancer. So that's my hearty round of applause to him for being so disciplined and being able to do that. So there it is for Cats. But unfortunately, he did lose to Lomo in that game. If you guys didn't see it, it was a great game. I think we saw some Nidus Worms coming out in that battle as well. But we'll see how this plays out here. You know, Lomo has shown already that he's definitely got what it takes to play Terran versus Zerg. And once again, he's going to be matched up against another Zerg player, aka ColdFront. Both their SCV and their drone has passed across each other in the center line of the map right now. And back over at the Terran side of the map, he does have a barracks and a supply depot. So it looks like he's going to go for 1 Rax, gasless, fast expand. He's already got the SCV down at the natural expansion. But ColdFront sent his drone over here. And remember, because it is a 2-player spawn map, you can get this drone over and try to just get in there and see what's going on right away without being worried about getting your drone blocked. So you will always be able to get that drone into the main base if you send the drone early enough. And it looks like he was able to get in there, and so you can see, all right, no gases. And so at this point, the only thing that can be happening is either a 2 Rax, with the second Rax being placed at some proxy location, or there's a 1 Rax gasless fast expand, and that is what is happening right now. ColdFront now saying, please let me be free, let me get out of here, and don't block me in. But of course, no Terran player will ever let that drone get out scotch-free. He is going to block him in now, and that drone, say goodnight, say your prayers, and so he is down. Over on the right-hand side of the map, ColdFront now looking like he's going to go for a macro-based opening, as he's already got the spawning pool. It does have gas, and he's mining gas right now, so it looks like he's going to go right into speedlings, and that's not a bad idea. A lot of Zergs do this in Zerg versus Terran, because you want to get Zerglings out with speed for map control purposes. It is also very nice to be able to shut down Hellion play should it come out. And overall, it just gives you that extra sense of security. Now, it does cost you a little bit more because you have to invest into the gas, and that typically delays the 3rd hatch, and it delays a couple of your drones and whatnot. But it does end up usually paying for itself, especially against any Terran that might think about doing some type of early attack. And we do have 2 Marines coming right now with an SCV in tow. It looks like that Zergling is going to be pushed away for now, so ColdFront will probably need to back over to his Queen in order to defend against this preliminary pressure, but I'm not too sure how much Lomo is actually going to expend into this attack. You can see back at home, he has a bunker coming up, he's got a supply depot, and now he's going to go ahead and sound the horn for retreat because he doesn't want to overcommit with these early Marines and the SCV. Typically with the Queen there and being so close to the Zerg natural expansion, you can attack, but you typically expect the Zerg to be macroing out a lot of Zerglings out of those eggs, and at any point in time, speed can kick in, and those Marines typically aren't going to get any real significant damage done. So, very smart call right there for Lomo to go ahead and pull back to the natural and go ahead and sit back. Now, he does have a factory coming up, so we'll see which direction he wants to go here. It looks like he's going to go right into a starport. And, when you see a factory nowadays in Heart of the Swarm, especially with the reactor coming down immediately, your first thought is Widow Mines, but you can see Hellions as well. And it does look like we do have 2 Hellions coming out right now, but don't discount the possibility of Widow Mines coming out this early on in the game, because in the early game, they are very, very good. They're still good in the late game, but I think their best strength, their feature, is right when the factory is ready to go. So don't be surprised if we see a couple of Widow Mines coming out to back up these Hellions. It looks like he's going to stay with Hellions for now, and of course he does have a starport, so I'm thinking here he's gonna go right into a tech lab. Yeah, there we go. I'm surprised that Lomo didn't make the tech lab on this barracks. Could have saved himself a little bit of time right there. And I don't know what upgrade he wants to go for, but it looks like he wants to go for Cloak and Banshees, obviously. At least Banshee, maybe not Cloak, but at least a Banshee. And back then, right when Blizzard moved the Caduceus reactor, right before they moved the Caduceus reactor to the fusion core, you would see a lot of Terrans going right into Starport Tech Lab to get that upgrade, but now of course it does require a fusion core, so you don't see that coming out. You don't see a Starport and a Tech Lab coming out for Caduceus reactor anymore because it isn't available until later on in the game. Now Lomo is coming out with 4 Hellions, and it looks like he's going to try to do what Terrans do at this point in the game, which is prevent the Zerg from creeping out across the map. One point right here that I've got to feel a little concerned about for ColdFront is he doesn't actually have a 3rd hatchery yet. Yeah, he's got one inside the main base, but that doesn't actually count. He needs to get a 3rd hatchery at this location right here, or this location right here, and I'm not entirely sure what is taking ColdFront so long. Now, I do see Ventral Sacks and Overlord Speed on the way, so I guess he's gonna go for a drop bomb here, and this is very, very hidden. You know, this is disguised right now. Lomo has no idea this is coming. To him, with the Hellions that he's got on the map, he doesn't see anything peculiar at all. Even if he were to drop a comsat, it wouldn't necessarily say that something weird is happening, because you can't see that the hatcheries are really researching Overlord drop and Overlord speed. So this is going to be a hidden surprise attack by ColdFront. The only inkling that Lomo might have is the fact that the Zerg still doesn't have a 3rd hatchery yet. So this is very curious, and we'll see how this drop play is going to play out. The Overlords are already starting to make their way over to the left-hand side. There is a Banshee coming in, while the Hellions are trying to just keep the creep contained. And will that Changeling make it through? No. So that Changeling does go down. It looks like the Banshee is now making its way inside of the main base. And looks like there's a queen there, and of course the Banshees do not have Cloak, so this doesn't really pose too much of a threat. But what about these Overlords? Are they ready to go? It looks like they need to wait for Zerglings to come by, but there's a Widow Mine here, and the mine will catch any— oh god, they're gonna catch the Zerglings! And oh no! Lomo's Widow Mine literally was just coming off a cooldown right there. And it wasn't able to proc on the Zerglings, it seems like. I'm not too sure what happened there. I thought for sure that the cooldown was ready to go. Maybe it's one of those situations where if you drive fast enough through a high-speed camera, then it won't actually take your photo. So those Zerglings were so fast on creep with the Zergling boosted speed, the Widow Mine couldn't detect it in time. But I'm pretty sure it was because the cooldown was not ready to go, literally 0.1 millisecond if that was the case. And ColdFront is going to get in here, but, you know, those Zerglings were scouted by the mine. Is Lomo ready for this? I don't think he is. It looks like he's going to lose at least a tech lab here researching Stimpack, which is a critical loss, and that tech lab is certainly going to go down. Meanwhile, the natural and the main just under attack, and it looks like the forces are going to have to be called back home. Widow Mines at the middle of the map are being taken out as Zerglings and Banelings are coming in right now. The front door could be breached for Lomo if he is not prepared to deal with the threat at home first. It looks like there are some Zerglings back here. He is going to be able to roast them up as they are just holding position. And at the front door, it seems that the Zerglings and Banelings are preparing to roll through. Are they going to go for it? There is no full wall off, so these Zerglings will make their way in. But there's a bunker behind that supply depot wall. The bunker might just be enough to hold off this potential bust here. And very, very close game so far. 106 supply to 108, income 66 to 70 actually to 55 as the Zerg just droned up quite a bit. Workers killed surprisingly low despite, you know, the early Banshees and that very quick drop surprise play. It's a very close game. At this point, I feel like one thing though that I feel ColdFront is definitely in a little bit of trouble with is the fact that he still got this third hatchery very, very late. And of course, the reason for that is because he tried to go for this disguised, drop play inside the Terran main base, and while it was successful, he really delayed this third hatchery for, I almost feel like, too long, and as a result, he's not as far ahead in supply as you would like to see a Zerg be, at this point in the game. So for now, it does seem like it's pretty close. Maybe the Zerg could be a little bit further ahead. We do have some infestors coming out right now for ColdFront. Giving out a little quick smiley face right there, not too sure why, but we do have upgrades showing 1-1 across the board right now for both players. Of course, a lot more Banelings coming out now. Remember, ColdFront still has the ability to drop at any point he chooses. That Overlord drop tech is there, and it will remain there for the remainder of this game. Definitely something that the Terran always has to keep in mind in the back of his head, and as a result, he's actually erected a wall of missile turrets at the outer perimeter of his main base, and he's also planted down a couple of Widow Mines as well. Very smart. If this game goes to the distance, and at any point the Overlords try to drop in there, the mines and the turrets can make very short work of any type of aggression through the skies. So it's very smart by Lomo to go ahead and bunker down, his side, his perimeter there against aerial attacks. And at the front door right now, he's actually gone for a Hellbat Marine. Very interesting. Now, of course, the Hellbats are healed by the medevacs when they're in Hellbat form. They're considered biological and mechanical, so very nice. The medevacs, of course, do not have the Caduceus reactor yet, but once that fusion core comes, I would expect to see the Caduceus reactor upgrade on the way. Stimpack actually is still not even finished yet, and that's why Lomo hasn't even decided to make any type of pressure play so far really in this game, because remember, his Stimpack was canceled at the tech lab that he had inside of his main base. So because that happened, he can't really make an attack until Stimpack finishes. So right now it does look like ColdFront is moving into the middle of the map with some Zerglings, some Infestors, and I think he's just going to be posturing in the middle of the map. No real plans right now to make any type of attack. As you can see, he's actually hatching like crazy right now. One at the 11 o'clock, one at the 1 o'clock. Really kind of stealing one of the Terran player's potential bases there, and going up to really 5 bases himself. So kind of ridiculous right now. 16 minutes in, and I feel like ColdFront has definitely mitigated any, at the beginning of this game, it felt like he didn't have enough hatcheries, but now because he's double expanded, I think he's looking pretty good. But of course, Lomo's on 3 bases, about to be on 4 bases himself. And I'm not too sure about the safety of this base at the 11 o'clock position. ColdFront will probably be able to steal a lot of money here for some time, but eventually that base will probably be sniffed out and Lomo will be able to take it down. On the upgrade tabs right now, we do have a Nidus Worm on the way, a bunch of Ultras coming out. Of course, chitinous plating, adrenal glands, just upgrades across the board. Fusion core is now coming out as well for Lomo. And so both players now approaching tier 3, but I'm really curious about that Nidus network. Where is ColdFront going to go with that? It looks like he's going to try to take out this command center with his ground troops, but does he wish to expend any of his infestor energy to go ahead and finish that off? I don't know if it's worth it, because if he shoots out a bunch of infestors here, this army will probably be able to make mincemeat of the infested Terrans pretty easily, the traitors, if you will. So I think ColdFront wisely there, choosing to save his infestor energy for fungal growth and maybe wait for a little bit more ultra play to come in. And it does look like he has an Overlord in the back here of the main base. He could actually erect a Nidus Worm right here behind the Terran player's main base. Now, you saw Lomo just click that Overlord. He just clicked it, and I think he realizes that something fishy is going on. Why else would why an Overlord be parked here at this point in the game? But for now, it doesn't look like ColdFront is going to choose to make any Nidus Worm yet. He does have a Spire on the way back at home. Chitinous plating has now finished up. I'm so surprised that he hasn't killed off Lomo's Widow Mine here that's been planted here for a large majority of this game. He's really expanding at the most ridiculous locations, but not really taking the locations you would expect Zerg to take. Now, we do have a Nidus Worm coming up, but Lomo is all over it. Very nice reaction right there. That requires great skill to notice the minimap at that point. Now, it does look like ColdFront is coming in with his army. Caduceus reactors on the way, but not quite done yet. Great fungal growth right there, locking down the Terrans, Marines, and Marauders, and Hellbats. Now, these medevacs do not heal all that quick yet. You'll note it's green beam, not blue beam. We do have another Nidus network coming up, Nidus Worm coming up behind the natural at the same time while this attack is going on. Good position for these Hellbats here, but those are Ultralists, and you cannot burn up an Ultralist, man. You try all you want, it's never going to happen. Now, it does look like, once again, Lomo paying attention is going to be able to take out this Nidus Worm, but not before a couple of cracklings do make their way through. And now these SCVs are in a little bit of trouble. One more worm is coming up here. Lomo trying to come back to save the SCVs, and he will do that, and it looks like he'll be able to shut down this Nidus Worm as well. Meanwhile, at the front door, does look like ColdFront and Lomo duking it out, trying to establish some type of defense or offensive position here on this command center, and ColdFront launching out a couple of fungal growths, trying to keep this Terran army locked down. Caduceus reactor is about to finish up though, and remember, when that upgrade finishes, medevacs become nearly twice as effective. It really kind of negates the power of fungal growth, because fungal growth takes 8 seconds to go ahead and dish out its full potential damage. 8 seconds is more than enough time for a group of medevacs to be able to heal. So that's one thing that you guys will have to note here, and it does look like the blue beams are ready. Now fungal growth it's not nearly as effective anymore, and I think ColdFront is going to probably have to pull away. Now he does have another Nidus Worm coming up behind this expansion, and is Lomo prepared for this? It doesn't look like it, and there's a lot of fresh meals here. Even some infestors coming out as well. Will he be able to get the fungal off? No, it looks like he's whiffed both fungal growths. Oh wow, that was a little interesting there, but there is an Ultra up here, and the Ultra gonna try to go to work here and take out what it can. Still units keeping these forces away from defending this place, and of course the rocks proving to be a bit of an obstacle right there too, because then Lomo cannot come and save his SCVs and meals, and this Ultralist has 21 kills. It's ranked Metamorph. I don't even know if that was a potential rank in StarCraft 2. Must be new or something. I've never seen that before. So a metamorphed Ultralisk. And very nice plays right here from ColdFront, showing that he's got the skills to maybe take out Lomo, but Lomo's coming in with those Marauders and Marines. They are 2-3 upgraded, 3 armor on the way. Ultralisk goes down so quickly with that many Marauders firing their concussive shells. Really, Ultralists don't stand a chance. It really is the hard counter to an Ultralist army, but I've got to say ColdFront doing a fantastic job of shutting down this command center. He's even left a swarm host here just to prove to be a pain in the side of Lomo should he try to re-expand there. Now, Lomo's army is just massive though, and once again, I feel like fungal growth, it's good, but it's definitely, you know, its power has been negated. You know, it's been reduced because of the ability for medevacs to heal so quickly now. Although it does look like Lomo's got to be careful here. He should definitely wait and heal up his troops before he moves in. He has a lot of medevacs here, and if he just chills for a little bit, he can go ahead and reheal these units back up to full HP. But we do have another worm coming up from ColdFront. Nidus Worms galore right now. And what kind of troops are ready to shoot through this Nidus Worm? I'm going to go ahead and take a look. It looks like we have about 8 or so cracklings, and a couple of Ultralists have been loaded in as well. And here we go. One Siege Tank coming in, but that Siege Tank does not stand a chance of shutting down this Nidus Worm. And units are coming through. The Widow Mines did detonate, but really didn't do much at all. And those 2 Banelings are on auto-target mode right now. It looks like they will not be able to get any of the troops. And these 2 Ultralists probably going to go down eventually, but they might take down a Rax in the middle of the map. Meanwhile, Lomo pushing in and trying to make something happen while his base is under attack. He's going to try to push the Zerg back. He is definitely taking out creep tumors, and these Ultras are finally going down. They were not able to kill off the barracks, although they are on fire. And maybe this worm will get taken out as well, because of course there is a medevac here. So, insane game at this point. ColdFront is also expanding once again just over here to the left-hand side. This is right above the head of Lomo's natural expansion, so he's got to be careful here. But Lomo could lose some SCVs. He is going to lose SCVs. And 37 workers have been killed so far. The orbital command on fire as well. Buildings are burning all over the place, as you guys can see. It definitely looks like one Rax is going to go down. And this is just an incredible game of StarCraft 2, Heart of the Storm. Absolutely epic. There's action non-stop. Hasn't ended yet, 25 minutes, and look at the drone count, 107 to 35. And really, if the Terran did not have meals, I think, you know, any race other than Terran would have conceded by now. But the fact is, of course, Lomo is Terran, and he does have meals on his side. But my god, that is a huge discrepancy. Look at the bank right now. Almost, you know, 6k, 3k. The Terran has almost nothing. So definitely feel like right now Lomo is on the back foot. These Nidus Worms have just been the death of him. Will he be able to finally control all of the Nidus Worms that are coming up under his bases and be able to get some form of security and establish a new base? For Ultralist, looks like it went down pretty quickly there, and this time the Storm is going to go down. Meanwhile, it looks like ColdFront moving in through the middle of the map, shooting out a bunch of infested Terrans. There is a planetary fortress here, and the SCVs trying to get in position to repair. Ultralist and infested Terrans going to try to take out this planetary. There is another attack going on over here as well. It looks like Lomo finds the hatchery above his natural, and will be able to take it out. He also controls and defends his pocket expansion as well, so things are starting to look a little bit better for Lomo, as ColdFront's actually out of infestor energy. He's got to pull back. This is Lomo's time to strike. Every StarCraft 2 game, there's always a window of opportunity, and if you miss that window of opportunity, you might just lose your chance at taking control and winning this game, and Lomo's opportunity is now. He's got to make an attack. He's got to try to take out one of the hatcheries that are actually mining right now, but ColdFront is going for another Nidus Worm at this expansion on the south-hand side. Now it does look like Lomo should be able to take out this hatchery, though. He's sending in all of his troops. That hatchery is almost down 30 HP, and a couple last Marauder shots right there for the win. Takes out that hatchery, while the Ultras come in trying to cleave the rest of these Marines down. They are so low in the red. There is another attack going on here as Lomo moved on from the hatchery at the 10 o'clock towards the 11 o'clock. Was able to take out the Nidus Worm that was there, but another worm is coming up. So troops should be able to come here and defend should it be necessary. Doesn't look like ColdFront is really doing anything with the worm down here on the south side, as he was just so distracted with all the action going on in the map right now. A couple of infestors coming out, and those 3 infested Terrans should be enough, along with the Queen, really, to take out that Marauder. So finally a little bit of lull in the action, or maybe not, I guess. Overlords will always be dying no matter what, even in the most staleless portions of the game. 100 SCVs to 35 right now. APM for both players, 165, 172 average. And it still doesn't seem like there's any end in sight right now. This game is absolutely amazing. 4,000, almost 4,000 minerals, 1,000 gas, 1,500 minerals, 1,000 gas right there for a second for Lomo. He is pushing in with his troops right now. Do note he's making the transition into battle cruisers. Battle cruisers are absolutely great against Ultras because, of course, Ultras cannot shoot air, and these Marines are in trouble. They're going to try to break down these rocks to get up. No, it doesn't look like they need to. There is an opening here. Not too sure why the medevacs aren't getting these troops out of here. They can boost out before those infestors fungal. It doesn't look like there was enough energy for a fungal anyways, and there goes the emergency thrusters, getting those Marines out and home safely, back to their women, back to their wives and children, and maybe to fight and die another day. And ColdFront here, it looks like he's moving in with his Brute Lords. Gonna try to take out another planetary fortress. This thing has 49 kills already. Of course, most of that being Brutelings, so it doesn't necessarily mean that there are real kills, but regardless, incredible. 25,000 resources lost to 20,000. What you'd expect at this point in a match of StarCraft 2 between Terran and Zerg, so it's extremely close. Another drop coming down to the bottom right-hand expansion. Queen's going down here, and in the meantime, it looks like this planetary fortress will hold as the Brood Lords need to fall back to their infestor brothers to try to fend off these Vikings. And these 2 medevacs are out of there, so they boost out before reinforcements can arrive. It looks like they can drop, of course, at another location. This is such a weird map. If you look at the minimap right now, really the expansions just don't make any sense at all. The Zerg has an expansion up here in the top left-hand corner and still has not yet established an expansion here and an expansion here yet. It's such a weird situation right now. But nevertheless, ColdFront is making it happen. A lot of thanks due, of course, a lot of congratulations due to the Nidus Worms, and great usage of Nidus Worms as well. Very, very good military real-time decisions right there. But is it enough to take out Lomo? Remember, Lomo did defeat Cats, and Cats is considered one of the better players outside of Korea. So this is a very high-level StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm matchup here. Lomo, he knows he's got to hold on to this expansion no matter what. This is one of the most crucial ones. I mean, the Planetary Fortress has 96 kills already. It's almost like a morale demoralizer if you were to lose that Planetary Fortress, so he's got to keep that thing alive no matter what. Once again, it looks like this hatchery will stay alive thanks to the crawler placement here. Drones actually using the Nidus Worm to Maynard. There's a more efficient way to go ahead and get your troops in position. Battlecruiser has made its guest appearance on the map. Doesn't have Yamato cannon researched yet, so while it had enough energy, it will go down, and an attack right here from ColdFront, but it looks like the infested Terrans are not going to be able to beat out the real Terrans here. Lomo should be able to hold on. He's just got a great position with siege tanks. Planetary Fortress should be able to make the hold here, and these Broodlords are in so much trouble. ColdFront is going to lose almost all of his Broodlords here, and that was a massive sway here in the momentum of this game. The Terran player just absolutely crushing through, but of course the Zerg still has a decent bank, not a lot of gas, but a decent bank. But right now he is going to lose a hatchery, the top hatchery here, because of that last battle. It looks like the Nidus Worm is going to go down, so the drones have nowhere to escape. Very smart right there by Lomo, although now the drones say, all right, if we can't run underground, then we'll just hide underground temporarily, of course. And Lomo should be able to drop a comsat here and take out all those drones. He should, at least. Unless he wasn't paying attention and didn't notice the drones burrow down, but I'm sure he did. And a very nice play right there. You can see how one mistake, losing one big battle in the middle of the map, can end up costing so much in StarCraft 2. Lomo there capitalizing on the fact that he won that battle so decisively, and then said, all right, I'm going to take out a hatchery, not just one, I'm going to take out another hatchery. And this one is going to go down as well. And at the same time, he's also attacking here with a drop at the top right-hand side. So this is Lomo's chance to capitalize and regain control of this game. There is an Overlord bomb drop, though, coming down to this Planetary Fortress, and Lomo is in some trouble here, but I don't know if losing this PF really makes all that much of a difference. It is,